Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is going to be a different video. This is a game that I got in my Humble Bundle monthly for October. And I didn't really care for any. I've already played Tomb Raider. I was just kind of looking. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. So I decided, let's give it a try. I've only kind of turned it on and as far as I've gotten. So, from what I can tell, the basics is you're climbing a mountain with just a sledgehammer. So you gotta do things like this. From what I read, there's a voiceover, and if there is, I may actually just disable my mic and we'll play that. It'll be kind of a weird, yeah, stuff like this. It's like one of those QWOP type games. Oh, QWOP. I don't know. Oh. As far as I know, it doesn't save anything. So, nope. So I have a feeling I'm gonna get very frustrated playing this game.
What?
Oh. Exactly. That was weird.
What?
Nope. This is gonna be frustrating. Nope.
There's no feeling more intense than starting over. If you deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have, or if you left your wallet at home and you have to go back after spending an hour in the commute.
I'm just going to disable my mic. So, hold up.
If you won some money at the casino and then put all your winnings on red but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here. Alright, thanks for coming with me on this trip. I'll understand if you have to take a break at any point. Just find a safe place to stop and quit the game. And don't worry, I'll save your progress, always, even your mistakes. This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, titled Sexy Hiking. The author of that game was Jazero, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products. In a certain way, Sexy Hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game. It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time. In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer. And that act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor. No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer or too slippery. And the player is constantly, unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything. Oh, you just lost a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration, a real punch in the gut. Anyway, when you start sexy hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. You prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in sexy hiking is real. The obstacles in sexy hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazzuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past the new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder. Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them, and it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real. When you're building a video game world, you're building with ideas. And that can be like working with quickset cement. You mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be played with, and in the process of playing with them, they begin to harden and set until they're immutable, like rock. And at that point, you can't change the world, not without breaking it into pieces and starting fresh with new ideas.
I've decided the commentary is so rare that I might as well have my mic on. When he starts talking, I will let him talk. So far, I am frustrated out of my mind. I don't know what to do. Ow! Oh no. No. This is like, I don't know how to control this. Okay.
No.
Oof, sorry about that.
Oh. Oh. On we go. is frustrating. I I've only been playing for what? 11 minutes? Okay. And I've lost basically all of my progress.
What? What? What?
Oh, it happened again. Keep on trying. Don't let it get to you.
You know what? Screw you. Screw you. No, no. It is getting to
What?
me. This is like... No! No! I'm going all the way back down again. I don't get it. No, 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 no.
What? No.
Who designed stuff like this? This is like insane.
What?
Oh.
Ugh.
I'm.
What?
I don't. I don't know what to do.
What? What? What?
This thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. Mary Pickford.
You know what? You're not very helpful, game developer.
What?
I'm gonna take the sledgehammer that you've given me. I'm gonna shove it where the sun don't shine, because this is...
What? What? What?
Get nasty over there, boy. Going down the road feeling bad. I'm going down the road feeling bad. Going down the road feeling bad, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. Oh, down in the jail on my knees. Down in the jail on
I am
my knees.
speechless. This game actually makes me want to just go end it. I don't know what to do.
They feed me on cornbread and cheese. They feed me on cornbread and cheese. They feed me on cornbread and cheese, and I ain't gonna be treated this way. Oh,
Why? 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 Why?
Let's go to town, boys. Hey, brother.
Oh.
Oh, George. $10 shoe fits my feet. A $10 shoe fits my feet. $10 shoe fits my feet, and I ain't gonna be treated this away.
Oh.
Going where the weather suits my clothes. I'm going where the weather suits my clothes. I'm going where the weather suits my clothes.
I'm done.
I ain't
I'm
gonna
done.
be
I'm
treated
done.
this away.
If for some reason you enjoyed this, then like, but this is cancer. This is actually like, if there was such a thing as video game cancer, this game would currently
Turn
be
down, boy, turn down.
what would be in the description for the cause. Okay? Games like this.
What?
Like, I don't know. I'm just...
What?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Nope. Nope. That's it.